Marrano is the Spanish word for pig. And that was the word that they used about Jews who had externally, to save their lives or the lives of their families, converted to Christianity, and yet inwardly and secretly they maintained a full Jewish life, and they maintained it under threat of death, and a very painful death, a very horrendous death. The festival of the blowing of trumpets, called in the Torah, the Bible. He called a great concert, and he invited at that time Queen Isabella, and true enough, on that day, everyone in the kingdom came, including the Marrano Jews. As a matter of fact, the Marrano Jews were forced to come, because it was a great day. It was a day of rejoicing. It was a day of, after all, if any Jew was caught behind, they would suspect him of observing Rosh Hashanah. And so the Marrano Jews had to show up, because then they would prove to the Gentile world that they were no longer observing Jewish customs or laws of the Torah, God forbid, but that they had eschewed all the laws of the Torah, and that they were obeying only the Christian laws, which was at this particular time, come to the concert. And they came. And so did the Christians. And so did the royalty. And Don Aguilar began his concert. And finally there was one section in which the musicians stood up, and they had a very strange instrument in their hand, known by no one. An instrument which we know as the ram's horn, the shofar. They lifted up the shofar. All the Jews in the hall knew it was happening. And every heart beat faster. Every ear and every eye watched for and listened for the Mashiach. They knew it, they felt it, they could see him coming, they could hear him coming. And not a single Christian knew what was happening. Not a single Christian realized that every Jew in that hall was calling upon the name of Yeshua, and not upon the name that they had accepted via the Christians under forced conversion. That they were listening to the sound of the shofar, and that they were uplifting the name of Yeshua, which, had they been discovered, they would have met with a terrible death at the stake. But for this reason, we have had to keep it secret. This is our tradition, this is our history, forced upon us, albeit by the Roman exile and by the church, which had to come together with the Romans. After all, there was a political détente with the church. Therefore, if the Jewish people claim that Yeshua is truly the one, and what do we claim about him? And why haven't we been known throughout the last 2,000 years of history as being a people who have walked up and down the streets with signboards saying, salvation is of Yeshua? Why don't we say, why aren't we salesmen? Why aren't we salesmen for him? And there's an answer to that question too. You see, originally, we were. And we began to really, when he appeared, speak to Gentiles wherever we could find them. We were so zealous to speak to every Gentile who was interested in coming into the Jewish family, just as so many Gentiles came out of Egypt with us in what we call an Erev Rav, a mixed multitude. What am I doing? Revealing that secret name of Yeshua that's been so zealously guarded over all these years. A name that was told to me in a whisper by the rabbi who taught me. A whisper when he went like that. And he said, now you know, and now you don't say. Is it any wonder that we have kept our silence? By keeping silence, we were able to keep our sanity, and in some cases our family and our lives. And yet our silence spoke louder than even our words. In the diaspora, I cannot tell the truth. I tried. I could not speak of the real Yeshua. I tried. and my forefathers tried, and they before them have tried. And they were told the same thing, and not just in the way I was told. They were told at the point of a sword at their neck, you will not say those things again, because we don't believe them. So the rabbi spoke to Simcha Perlmutter and said, young rabbi, you may know the truth, but now is not the time to speak it. When you go back to your land, that's a different story. When the ingathering takes place, that's a different story. You have to hear me. Please look at me and understand that I am not speaking a message of hatred to the Christian world. I am also not building a bridge to the Christian world. In all honesty, I am not building a bridge from the Jewish world to the Christian world, because there cannot be such a bridge. One is the antithesis of the other.
El porqué de que esa minoría tuvo que guardar extremado silencio respecto a eso es totalmente deducible una vez se estudia toda la historia de la Iglesia Católica. Cuando una idea así era una herejía en torno al otro Jesús cristiano y fue extremadamente silenciada.